More news from CHC. A young man is severely injured in a terrible car accident, and resourceful doctors and a new relationship between two hospitals helped save his life. The accident happened about 3 days ago. The patient, described as a 28-year-old male, wasn't wearing his seatbelt and suffered a serious brain injury. He was rushed to the emergency room. Director of Medical Affairs, Dr. Sherleen Osman.
Within 30 minutes he had a CAT scan, and they took him to the OR and tried to evacuate the blood that was gathering under his brain. Whenever blood is on the brain, the patient dies. He's talking to you and he's dying, because what happens, the brain begins to sink under your spinal cord and your respiratory center gets cut off and you die.
CHC has no neurosurgeon on staff, so a general surgeon tried without success to remove the blood in the patient's brain. The patient continued to deteriorate, Osman says, and soon slipped into a coma. He had no insurance, so CHC turned to the Navy and the Coast Guard to try to medevac him to Guam. But then they learned Guam Memorial Hospital didn't have a bed for him, and in any event, he wasn't stable enough to fly. CHC worked with GMH and made arrangements for a neurosurgeon at the Guam hospital to come here instead, which he did on Wednesday.
So it happened in a record amount of time. In less than half a day we were able to get the surgeon over here. He came in last night, operated on the patient, and the patient is much, much better today.
The patient is now in stable condition, and Osman says that's thanks to the collaboration and good work of the two hospitals and their staff.
What I as a DMA would like to do is to publicly thank Dr. Larry Lizama, who is the DMA at Guam Medical Center, for opening all the doors to me. I would also like to thank Dr. Stephen Hayashida for taking the time, leaving all his busy schedule to come to Saipan to do this surgery. I would like to thank George McChris for opening the doors, calling the Navy and the Coast Guard to come and evacuate this person for free for us. I also want to thank the staff at CHC for their full cooperation. I mean, by the time the surgeon got here, the OR was already ready. Everybody was ready in their place and waiting. This is just an example of how a hospital should be coordinated.
CHC CEO Juan Babalta also had words of praise for Dr. Osman, who assumed her position as DMA less than 2 weeks ago.
Had Dr. Osman, not acted quickly as she did, I think we would have had a death yesterday.